Nicely done. Nicely done.
The Black Widow, Jeanette Lee, is one of the most recognizable female athletes in the world. She was named one of the sexiest female athletes in the world by ESPN and has made television appearances on Arliss, Entertainment Tonight, Extra, Hard Copy, HBO Real Sports, Late Show with Craig Kilborn, Today, The Late Show with David Letterman, and Live with Regis and Kelly. But she is, among other things, a proud mother of 6 and one of the world's most recognizable billiards players. Jeanette's most recent career highlight is becoming a 2012 WPBA Hall of Fame inductee.
In welcoming a Hall of Fame mother, a Hall of Fame friend, and the newest member of the WPBA Hall of Fame, Jeanette Lee.
Breaks my heart because this is the most beautiful game, and we're in a special place that we get to do it, and we never started it for the money.
In addition, Lee has served as the national spokesperson for the Scoliosis Foundation for the past decade. At the age of 13, she was diagnosed with scoliosis, a disorder in which there is a curve, often S-shaped or C-shaped, of the spine or backbone. Lee has undergone 10 back surgeries, yet despite her medical challenges is currently ranked the number 3 player in the world and has more than 30 billiard titles on her resume.
Well, at 4 I had a tumor, and then I had an abscess in my leg at 11, I had surgery on my leg. Then they discovered my spine was crooked when I was 12. I had surgery at 13. And they implanted 2 metal rods in my spine. They fused it all together. So for me, I needed reconstruction. My spine was so bad that I had 2 curves that were both over 55 degrees crooked. So a brace wouldn't be good enough.
Lee is also the official spokesperson for the American Pool Players Association, APA, and encourages people of any age and athletic background to participate in the sport of pool through APA leagues.
Micro steps, all these little things make just this perfect swing, but it's hard to feel it, but if you know what you're looking for, it becomes more natural.
That this gorgeous Brooklyn High School dropout with a steel rod implanted in her spine has done more than anyone to add glamour and class to the image of professional pool says a lot about professional pool. It says even more about Jeanette Lee, the world's most famous pool player. For starters, Lee is terminally sexy. It's not just the sultry pout, the cascading hair, the svelte figure poured inevitably into tight Black Widow ensembles, the half glove that lets you see only so much of her stick-gripping hand. It's her attitude. Despite countless championships and a decade of being counted among the world's 2 or 3 sexiest female athletes, Lee lives by a surprisingly and unabashedly feminine philosophy. The philosophy resonates with fans, and the ambition has been realized, albeit several years later than planned. Lee is married to successful professional pool player George Breedlove, with whom she had a daughter named Cheyenne in June of 2004. They call Indianapolis home, reflecting Lee's middle Korean values. It remains to be seen whether motherhood will cut into her pool career. But even if that were to wind down, Jeanette Lee will have been one of the greatest champions of all time, having won or placed in virtually every major tournament during the decade between 1994 and 2004. Lee started playing when she was 18. She discovered the game while working as an editorial assistant for a computer company in Manhattan. After work one day, she stopped inside Chelsea Billiards and watched a man named Johnny Ervolino running the table. She was hooked. Soon, she was sleeping with her fingers taped in the shape of a Q-bridge.
I was 18 years old, and I saw a guy playing pool, and he was amazing. And it took me 3 years to turn pro, and a year and a half after that, I was ranked #1 in the world.
When she got there, she couldn't tear herself away from the table. Lee says that she once practiced 37 hours straight and had to be carried home by friends because she had trouble walking. It took a week for her back to recover.
Every single day. And 37, that wasn't one time, it was many times, but the 37 was the only time really recorded, but it was very often 25, 30 hours. And I would just play till exhaustion, and I ended up going to the hospital a lot. I was completely upset.
The back problems predate Poole. At 13, she had an operation to correct a severe case of scoliosis, a lateral curvature of the spine. Her spine had to be broken, and metal rods were planted from the top of her spine to her pelvic bone. She was in a cast for more than 2 months. Poole hardly seems to be appropriate therapy, but Lee continues to play in spite of her doctors telling her that she should not be playing at all.
Then they discovered my spine was crooked when I was 12. I had surgery at 13, and they implanted 2 metal rods in my spine. They fused it all together. So I can't really turn. I can move my shoulders, and if I turn at my knees or at my hips, you know what I mean, or my ankles. But if you were to hold my knees and hold my ankles, I can't move at all. So, and even...
As a teenager, she earned her moniker in a New York pool hall, not only for her cutthroat play, but also for her preferred attire, black from head to toe. With jet black tendrils of hair hanging below her waist, the 25-year-old Lee, with stick in hand, is a picture of intimidation. During competition, she can run rack after rack without a hint of a smile. Before she strokes her cue stick, she lowers her jaw, arches her eyebrows, and stares at the cue ball.
Common misperception about why I look the way I do when I'm playing pool is to look intimidating, but it's because my spine doesn't curve up. My head stays like this, and then I look up.
Lee is also known for her dramatic behavior. A missed shot is followed by a histrionic sigh, a foot stomp, or a scowl. If the cue ball doesn't do exactly what she thought it was going to do, she'll put her hand on her hip and march around. That's not surprising. When it comes to 9-ball, the game played on the WPBA Tour and likely to be a medal sport at the 1997 World Games in France, Lee hates to lose, and she rarely does. In 9-ball, a player must play the numbered balls on the table in order, and the player who sinks the 9-ball as a result of either a combination or in sequence wins. When the Brooklyn native is on, it's as if she's in a trance. When Lee strutted onto their turf in 1993, the other women on the WPBA Tour considered her too cocky. The first time Lee met Elena Thornfelt, who's now her closest friend on the tour, Lee declared that she was the best female straight pool player in the world. Thornfelt, a 3-time European straight pool champion, was skeptical. When they played, Lee ran 94 balls to Thornfelt's 3. At that point, Thornfelt asked to change to 9-ball instead of straight pool. Most women on the tour now tolerate Lee's attitude, and she has toned down her comments. By the end of her first season, 1993, she was ranked number 8 in the world. Before the 1994 season, she boldly predicted she would be the next number 1 player. She won 5 of the circuit's 12 tournaments, earned $45,326, and was named Player of the Year. Her father, Bo Chun Lee, 66, owns a smoke shop across the street from the Empire State Building, and her mother, Sonia, 56, is a registered nurse. Lee hopes they'll be able to retire soon with her help. She also dreams of putting all her cousins through college. After her meteoric rise to the number 1 ranking, Lee struggled during the 1995 season. She won only 2 tournaments and twice finished second. By the end of the year, she was tied with Robin Bell as the top-ranked player. Lee took back her number 1 status within a month, slipped briefly to number 2, and is now tops again. Lee hasn't quite realized her lesser ambition of having a TV series, but she has done the next best thing, becoming a universally recognized TV regular. Thanks to her sex appeal and long reign as pool's glamour girl, she has appeared regularly in TV shows and become single-handedly the most famous female pool player in the world. We hope you enjoy the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.